You're looking at my hands, are you? Oh, never mind them. You should see the other fellow. I'm joking. I'm joking. Manual labor. Good for the soul, or so they tell me. It's been a rough day, I'm afraid. A rougher few months. Okay, I'll tell you about it. Oh, I won't keep you long. I won't. I have somewhere to be. You see, a few months back, something happened to me that sent my life spiraling. Downwards or upwards, I still haven't decided, but it's all stupid anyway, isn't it? She asked, my wife, you see, she asked if I'd imagined it, if I'd perhaps fallen asleep for a moment and dreamt it. Asked if I were drunk. Imagine that. And yes, I'm drunk now. I admit it freely. I'm drunk now, but I wasn't back then. Oh no, I didn't touch the stuff back then. It was that thing, that incident that led me to drink in the first place. You see, you spend your whole life living with reality. I say with and not in because, reality can be brutal, can't it? We live with reality like one lives with an overbearing parent. It's always there, dictating the terms of our existence. Or is reality and existence the same thing? But never mind, the point is, it never lets us get away with squat. But it's always consistent, isn't it? And that is comforting. Or so we would like to believe. We'd like to think it's consistent, wouldn't we? Like the law of gravity, you see. A man falls off a ladder and bumps his head, and he may curse gravity, shake his fist at it, but it's stupid, isn't it? Well, reality is like that. Shake your fist at it all you like, but it doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's completely indifferent. We curse it when we don't get what we want, when life seems unfair, or when events seem to turn on us. But it's stupid. It's stupid. What happened to me back then was unreal, non-real, anti-real. Or so I thought at first. Falling off a ladder. Now that's a good analogy for what happened to me. You think you're in control. We do, don't we? We think we're basically in control, that we're basically stable. Well, friends, the whole thing came crashing down that one night, taking me with it, it did. And I learned, in the most vicious sort of way, that we are not stable, nor are we on anything stable. We only wish to be, pretend to be, because reality, as it really is too chaotic, too strange, impenetrably black, confusing, disorienting, too beyond us. We wall ourselves off from everything but what we see as normal. You see? Wall ourselves off. Oh, but I almost gave it away. Okay, I'm not getting through to you, am I? Let's try this. Imagine, if you will, gentlemen, trying to explain algebra to a parrot. Funny. Eh? You find it funny? Well, it is funny, I readily admit. It is funny, certainly, until you realize that you are the parrot, gentlemen. And that algebra, reality, is too much, too big, too bizarre. But where was I? Yes, the event, the incident. It took me a long time to come to my point, didn't it? You'll think it's stupid, no doubt, and that's why I spent so much time leading up to it. I want you to know I'm serious. You won't laugh, will you? I mean, I really am serious. Drunk now, but serious. Do you promise? But see, even that, the fear of your laughter, your mockery, your contempt, even that is stupid. That I'm not past all of that, past caring about what you think about me. Even that concern is stupid. Well, I was sitting at home one night by the fire reading a book. Oh, I suddenly have your attention, do I? Yes, alone at home at night reading by the fire. So many directions a story like this can go. Anyway, I forget what I was reading. Doesn't matter. My family had gone out for the evening, and I was relaxing, reading, drinking tea. I didn't mention the tea until just now. So you have a fuller picture of the scene. See how generous I am with you? In any case, turn your mind to the picture, specifically to the dog. Now, the dog was lying by the fireplace, a normal dog, a nice normal dog. We had bought him from, well, it doesn't matter. A big black dog, a black Russian terrier. You hear terrier and you think of a small dog, don't you? But not this one, no. In this case, the word terrier is as deceptive as I soon discovered reality to be. But anyway, the dog was lying away from me. You see, his face was pointed in the same direction as mine. I was reading my book. I forget what book. It doesn't matter. Reading away I was when all of a sudden the dog lifted his head and turned to look at me. I looked up at him, thinking I might have to take him out to do his business, you know. He just looked at me the way I'm looking at you now. And he spoke. You think it's funny, do you? You think this has all been some sort of elaborate, drawn-out joke. It's not a joke, I assure you, and I am not insane. He spoke. He somehow he spoke. I know how it sounds. And what's more, I know that you won't believe me. So why am I telling you if you won't believe me? Fair question. Because, well, why the hell not? Who cares? Nothing matters, does it? I used to think some things mattered, you know, but they don't. Your respect for me matters the least. So go on, laugh if you want. Or better yet, hold your laughter and talk about me later when I'm not around. I don't care, really. I don't care. And even if I do care, I don't care about that. But he did speak. He spoke to me in English, the way I'm speaking to you now. Clear as day it was. And do you want to know what he said, gentlemen? Do you want to know the words that have since ruined my life? Or have they saved it? I honestly can't tell. He looked at me and he said, "No one will ever believe you." That's what he said. No one will ever believe you. In a sort of sing-song type of way. And then he laid back down as if nothing had happened. At first, of course, I suspected someone was playing a trick on me, but God, how it frightened me. I just sat there, still as a stone, barely breathing. I remember I could hear the blood pulsing through my head. I got up, I looked at the dog, and I said, "Well, what did you say?" He didn't even look at me, just laid there like a dog. I looked up, my eyes darting to and fro. "Is someone there?" I asked. "Is anyone there?" But you see, I knew there was no one there. I knew it was the dog. So why did I ask if anyone was there? I was trying desperately to hold on to the idea that reality was, like we said earlier, solid, reliable. But in that instant when the dog spoke to me, gentlemen, how to describe it? I fell, and I continued to fall, and I'm still falling. And there seems to be nothing solid to catch me. For the longest time, I wished it would. I remember thinking that even if it broke me, I'd be satisfied. You see, does that make sense? Even if it caught me and I shattered, I'd be happy because there would be something solid, something consistent, but I just continued to fall. Even now, down into the black hole of, well, I know not what. That's right, go on, have a good laugh. What do I care? But he was right, you know, the dog. No one believes me. I became obsessed with making him speak again. I mean, wouldn't you? I begged him to. Told him I'd get him whatever treat he liked. He just lay there. Nothing. No one believed me. My wife thought I was joking at first, the way some of you just did. And then when I persisted, she thought I was playing a joke on her. and then she thought I was lying. Then there came a short time when she really tried to believe me. Oh, she did love me, you see. She did love me. We both sat down by the dog, and she tried to believe me. I said to the dog, I said, "Hey, boy, say to Veronica," my wife, "say to Veronica what you said to me earlier. Go on." At one point, I got so frustrated, so embarrassed, that I backhanded the dog across the snout. He whimpered and backed away. My wife was shocked. Worried? Yes, worried. Angry? Sure, who could blame her? Some of you are angry at me, aren't you? And can I tell you why you're angry? It's not only because I'm bothering you. It's not because you think I'm lying. It's because you can't be certain that I'm lying. You can dismiss me, but you can't prove that I'm not lying. At best, you can say I'm probably a liar. But what do you know? Were you there? Or will you tell me I must be a liar because dogs can't talk, and everyone knows that? Do they? I don't know that. Imagine, and I'll leave you to your drinks after this, gentlemen. Imagine staring through a keyhole. No, better. Imagine waking up in a room with no memory and no access to the outside world. You can't see through the room you're in. There aren't any windows or doors. You can't hear anything outside of the room. You have absolutely no awareness of anything beyond the room. That's us. Well, that's you. That was me before the incident. You despise me, don't you? You think I'd be a fool because I'm here to tell you that the room is not all there is. Now, what if I told you there was life after death or something like that? You might agree and nod your heads. There's no proof of that, though, either. If I told you of a near-death experience I'd had, that there was some sort of a warm glow I was being drawn into, or that I met a God who loves humanity or something, then you might believe me. And why? Because it's comforting. It would make reality appear even more solid, secure, directed. But a dog who says, "No one will ever believe you." Ah, how incredible, how terribly unhelpful. The dog refused to admit anything, of course. I starved the thing almost to death, I did. Told him I wouldn't feed him until he admitted to me that he said what he had said. He never did, of course. Well, I best be going. Oh, and one more thing. Why is it, and you'll forgive me if this question seems strange. I'll let you alone after this, I promise. I promise. Why is it that we like walls so much? You look confused. I thought you might be. It seems like a stupid question, does it? You find me amusing? Well, it is a stupid question, perhaps. It's all stupid. But may I tell you the answer? They offer a semblance of order. This room is for this room is for that. And so, you want to know what I did, gentlemen? A few weeks after the incident? I made a hole in the wall of my basement. A sturdy limestone wall, several feet thick. I made a hole, the way that dog had made a hole in my brain. And you know what I did? I chained it inside. A small terrier, you thought, barely fit inside that hole I dug right there, that little room in the wall of my basement that I made, if you can imagine it, in the space between the wall and the miles of dirt that stretch out on the other side of it. And then, brick by brick, I rebuilt that wall. Even then, I gave it a chance. "Admit that you said it," I shouted. But he just went on whimpering and scratching and barking pathetically until he didn't. And that's the lot for us too, dear gentlemen. Confused and stuck, frantic and tired. That's the lot for us, too. But you should see your faces, gentlemen. Surely you know that I've been pulling your legs this whole time, eh? I was joking, of course. I'm drunk, you see. Forgive me. I'm drunk and I'm joking. I apologize sincerely if it wasn't funny, but of course it wasn't funny. I'm not funny. Never have been, I'm afraid. Why, I'd have to be mad to bury my dog and wife alive. Good night, gentlemen. Enjoy your little room.
Hey everybody, Matt Frad here, one of the Frad siblings. Wanted to let you know that my sister and I have compiled our sibling horror stories into a beautifully designed book, which you can now buy on Amazon. So if you enjoy these stories, if you would like to support the work that we're doing, please click the link in the description below and get it on Amazon today.